What's going on, everyone? This is Sarge. The most brutal carbines, the ACW-R and the MTAR-21 square off in the next episode of Battlefield 4 Weapon Showdown.
They're behind the truck. Right there, you want the other one.
Is he a medic? Oh, he's an AG. He has 30 HP.
You got it?
Yeah.
The ACW-R and the MTAR-21 are two carbines available for all classes in Battlefield 4. You unlock them by performing a series of assignments or collecting enough points from the previous carbines that are already available. The ACW-R is the second unlock, and then you unlock the MTAR-21 by performing the multi-talent assignment. What makes this face-off unique is that these are the only weapons available for all classes in the game in Battlefield 4 that have the highest rate of fire, ensuring any user who wields either weapon the ability to decimate their targets in the least amount of time. Granted, you're going to burn through your magazine a lot faster than the other carbines available. There's still nothing more satisfying knowing that you're getting a lot more bullets off when you're exchanging with an enemy, giving you the upper hand the more closer they are. That being said, let's look at the similarities between the ACW-R and the MTAR-21. These stats at simtic.com, we can see that both these weapons share the same amount of damage at close range at 25 points. This is an actual upgrade from the ACW-R that was available in Battlefield 3, which was only at 20 points. Both the ACW-R and MTAR-21 share the same start and end damage at 8 meters to 50 meters, and they also have 31 bullets per magazine, as with most carbines in the game. They both have the same bullet drop at 15 meters per second squared. Also, recoil to the left and recoil decrease are going to be the exact same. Where we're going to start seeing the differences between these two weapons is in the amount of time it takes to reload a magazine, or the spread between each bullet while moving. We're also going to see differences in the muzzle velocity and the minimum damage that the weapon does at the farthest distance that the bullet reaches. And so we'll see right off the bat that the ACW-R has the fastest tactical reload in the game, compared to the MTAR-21. Also has a faster empty reload with less recoil to the right and a first shot recoil multiplier. What this means is that your first shot is going to line up and essentially stay on its target, making recoil a lot easier to manage compared to the MTAR-21. You're going to be able to hold your shots off a lot longer, hold that trigger a lot longer, and not have to deal so much with the gun kicking as much. So the MTAR-21 is going to have a higher kick compared to the ACW-R, so that can rebalance the sort of playstyle that you bring to Battlefield 4. If you're the type that can't really manage your recoil, the ACW-R will probably be more ideal in that sort of situation, especially for those close range engagements. Even though technically you can use attachments such as the muzzle brake or the angle grip to control your recoil, it's not as needed compared to the MTAR-21, which would probably be more ideal for those attachments when it comes to the game. The ACW-R did get a nice buff compared to its predecessor in Battlefield 3 at 880 rounds per minute. The Battlefield 3 version was only 850. So we also see the start damage was also buffed at 25 points compared to the 20 points in Battlefield 3. And we have the high rate of fire that was also a significant buff. And so take that, a weapon that doesn't have as much recoil with an actual buff when it comes to its rate of fire and start damage, and we have a weapon that's an overall great use for anybody to pick up and to do really well in close quarters. And so it's hard to consider that there's another weapon out there that can defeat the ACW-R when it comes to the close quarter engagements, because we have a weapon with these sort of stats that are ideal and cater to these sort of engagements. The Battlefield 3 version being a great weapon, and then seeing it buffed in the Battlefield 4, what else is there that can compete, right? That is, unless we start looking at these stats at the MTAR-21. MTAR-21 has a better minimum damage at 18 points compared to the 15.4 points that the ACW-R has. What this means is that at 50 meters, you're going to do the most amount of damage that the weapon can do, meaning that you're killing your targets essentially a lot farther ranges than the ACW-R can do. Now, why is this important in the game of Battlefield 4? Well, essentially you're dealing with maps in the game that are larger than the average map. So unless you're playing game types like domination or team deathmatch, you're really going to be engaging your targets at farther distances. And so there are maps that cater to close range combat, such as Operation Locker, but in generally you're going to be in a bigger setting, meaning you're going to engage your targets at farther distances. You want that minimum damage to really come through and give you that extra edge over the enemy. So that 17% increase that you get with the MTAR-21 is still going to outperform any user with an ACW-R in any type of situation when it comes to those distances. Further looking at the stats of the MTAR-21, we're going to see that it has a slightly higher fire rate at a 2% increase at 900 rounds per minute, which is not much compared to the ACW-R, but it's still an increase. And so we have a higher maximum distance at 855 meters compared to the 750 meters that the ACW-R has, a higher muzzle velocity at 570 meters per second, slightly less upwards recoil at 0.34 points, and then in general has a significantly less spread when it comes to moving around with the weapon. So we can see that the MTAR-21 caters to the more medium to longer range engagements, and in a game like Battlefield where you're dealing with larger maps and targets that are farther, you're going to want a weapon that's going to deliver when it comes to those ranges. And I would say the MTAR-21 does do its job quite well, and compared to the ACW-R, I would say it would be the more preferable choice when it comes to Battlefield 4. Unless you're going to be in engagements where you're up in front of your enemy at all times in most situations, the ACW-R is going to be preferable, but I think in general the MTAR-21 is going to have the overall upper hand. And so that is just my opinion when it comes to using the weapon through experience. I've noticed that the MTAR is slightly better. There's still not much of a huge difference between these two weapons. I still like them both, but the MTAR-21 has my vote for the win in this comparison. And so leave a comment below what you guys think in regards to both these weapons, of what your favorite one is. Don't forget to also let me know what other weapons you would like me to compare in the next episode of Battlefield 4 Weapon Showdown. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care.